I went through school for many years, and it's changed. It's not about the 3 R's anymore. It's not about reading and writing arithmetic. No way. It's a social experiment, and they hardly turn out people who can read. You may have noticed. Homeschoolers now win almost all of the national studies and academic competitions. Get online and verify it yourself. I am not kidding. Why? Because when they're homeschooled, imagine having your own private tutor. I mean, if you go to a karate school and you're one of 50 people going, yeah, that's one thing. But what if you go one-on-one with an instructor, a private tutor? Are you going to get ahead faster? You betcha you're going to. And it's the same thing. The homeschooled kid, he's got a private tutor. And that's mom. And all of a sudden, he's no longer status conscious. And all of a sudden, he's no longer peer dependent. Now, how can you use this? Maybe you don't have children. Maybe your children are grown. Well, you can still homeschool yourself, can't you? Because the whole system tells you that you need a college education. And we've talked about this before. And a college education can be a very good thing, especially if you need a license, like to be a doctor or a lawyer. But let's say, like the girl I met a few nights ago at the bookstore said, I want to be in business management, and I'm taking business management at the college. And I said, oh, really? She said, well, what do you do? And I told her what I do. She said, wow. You mean people pay you to come and talk to them about their business? Absolutely. She said, well, what college did you go to? I said, oh, I'm a high school dropout. Oh, you better believe it. I've been homeschooled. I left school and was homeschooled by my parents. They got me out of there, so I haven't been to college. And she froze up, and I said, oh, well, hey, you know what? Go ahead then. You continue that. And it's interesting. Another lady I met about 2 months ago has all these business degrees, and she's working as some sort of glorified secretary. She's making $30,000 a year, maybe $40,000. Well, you say it's because she's female, she couldn't get up the job ladder. Okay, I know guys with college degrees and doctorates who are managing restaurants, managing a Chili's. Okay? Now, you might be a Chili's manager, and that's a comfortable income for you. I don't know. But the point is, what are you doing with it? What are you doing with that degree, and do you need it? You want a business? You want to manage business? You want to be a business consultant? Start some businesses, okay? It's the same thing. What good do you go out and get a black belt, and then the moment you step into the ring or get in a street fight, you get your butt kicked, okay? Because you've never tasted the real thing. The real thing. So, don't want to get off track here. Meh, meh, sheeple, okay? So, that's what's going on in the schools. Bottom line, it is. Investigate it yourself. Get online. You can see it's all there. It's all there. It's all there, right out in the open. And so, when I speak to you of something like homeschooling, just like I give you a word like run, or faith, or Elvis, right? All these pictures come to mind of what is that? And it may break. You may go, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking. I know exactly what I'm talking about. And you can too. It's all right there online. It's all totally there. The results are in. Okay? So it's like taking my black belts and putting them in a ring against your black belts. The homeschooling black belts have kicked butt time and time again on the public school black. So what does that tell you? It tells you that if you want the best, the very best in an education for your children, you will homeschool them. Now you say, well, we can't. Why? There is nothing you can't do. Can't. What word is that? What does that mean? Is that some kind of soup? Okay, there is nothing you can't do. Matter of fact, the Indians, the Native American Indians, they don't have a word in their language for stutter. If I told you that before, they don't have a word for stutter. And so stuttering doesn't exist. And can't shouldn't exist. Well, we're both working. Why are you both working? Why are you both working? Maybe you should make more money so your wife could stay at home and school your children. Well, it's too expensive where we live. Well, maybe you can move. See? Let nothing stop you. There is a way if you're determined. Okay? There is a way. It's whatever it takes. Why did I mention that? I don't know. Maybe one of you needed that for some reason. But it's still valid across the line. The dialectic thinking, what else can you control in the locus of control? Your body, your mind, your household. You have control of your communications. You have control of your interactions, which is also a form of communication. Okay? You can be compelled or impelled to do just about anything. There's very little in this world you're required to do. Okay? Very, very little. Very little. We have a very free society still. Yes, we do. Yes, you're required to pay your taxes. But you can learn good financial wisdom and accounting and learn how to pay the least amount of tax that you could legally pay. Right? But if you have no education of the deductions that you are allowed, if you have no education, remember, if you have no understanding, it's not about education, it's about understanding. Okay? So hire a good accountant. You might like to train. You like martial arts? Okay? You like to buy a lot of martial arts DVDs and books and do trainings. Have you ever considered maybe you should teach some martial arts? So you get a business card printed, and you charge some people for some private lessons in your backyard. Well, and you make some income, and you report that income. And then you get to report all the expenses on all of the martial arts related things that you like to buy. See, I'm not an accountant, so you need to actually seek out this advice, but this is general information that's commonly known. And most people don't take advantage of it, so you can control your interactions. Let me tell you the secret right now, okay, about taxes. Here's the solution right now. You don't like taxes. Here is the way to end the problem. Make more money. Make more money. If you're making 50, 60, 100, 200,000 a year, paying a lot of tax and you feel it, well, double or triple your income and then you won't feel it anymore. Simple enough? Good, let's move on. You might consider electing some people too who don't raise taxes. That might help, huh? Maybe? So you have control over a lot of things. You have control over your world. Your world, your thought life, your action life, everything. It's your world. Inside of you, inside your home, inside your mind, it's your world. And how are you creating? You are God in your world. Do you see what I'm saying? Little g there. You understand what I'm saying? You're God in your world. You have control over everything that you manifest. So in the locus of control, if you were to spend your time focusing on what you can control, like your body, like your training, your physical fitness, your exercise, your disciplines, your martial arts, what else can you control? How about your eating? Air. Air. I is for intake. A is for actions. R is for rest. Health, just remember air. My actions, my intake, and my rest. These will determine the quality of your life. Right there, air, that's it. Your actions, your intake, and your rest. Consuming food, unhealthy food all the time, well, you get the manifestation of that, don't you? You probably won't sleep well either. Here's 3 eating rules that will rock your world. Now, I am not a nutritionist. However, I've studied Al Sears, Dr. Douglas, Wayne Pickering, and this is what I do, and you might like it and you might not. Real simple. First of all, eat more protein. The food pyramid is designed to kill you. Okay? It's all wheat. Little protein. You want to eat healthy? Turn the food pyramid upside down. I knew that years before. It just came out in the news. I've been doing this for years. Steak, eggs. Eggs are a perfect food. You need fat and protein. Okay? You need testosterone. They want to keep feeding you wheat and soy. Why? Soy has estrogen. Feed your boys estrogen. Feed your men estrogen. You want to talk about a de facto castration. Okay? Weaken the men in society. You weaken their warriors. They're women warriors too. Yes, they are. But let's face it, men are built bigger and stronger. And you'll have more men fighters than you'll have women. Out of every 100 martial arts students I have, about 4 are women. I'd like to see more of that. I really would. So yes, they're warrior women. However, we're talking about society. They can break manhood. Okay? Essentially, getting you on soy. Getting you to be a little sprout-eating, soy-eating thing. Telling you it causes heart disease. Here's one for you right now. Here's one for you right now. Look at a box of pasta, and it says grams of fat, 0. But if you have a diet of nothing but pasta or bread or things that don't contain fat, what happens? You become fat. Very fat. Why? Simple carbs, sugar carbs. They convert to fat once they're in the body. You need more protein, bottom line. Just shop around the edges of the store. Okay? That's where all the produce is. They keep that around the edges, you know what I mean? The back wall. If this is your grocery store, these are the walls, and then these are the center aisles, right? Here's the front. You go in here, you get the meat, poultry, fish. You go here, you get the milk, eggs, cheese. You go here, you get the fruit and vegetables. Never go in these middle aisles. Why? Because you get a box of food or a can of food. Something that was made to last forever. Why? These big corporations that make this junk, potato chips that'll last forever, full of preservatives. Why? Made cheaply. Why do they want to sell wheat? Because it's so darn cheap. And if you're in a business, you're in a business for profit. So a multinational food conglomerate, they want to make money. Okay? Fruit, vegetables, meat, cheese, and milk, guess what? It goes bad, doesn't it? It has a date, an expiration date. Pasta and cans can last tens and dozens of years. So where's the money going to be at? Is it going to be in perishables? No way. The real money is in the stuff that never goes bad because they can ship it all over. It can take as long as it needs to take to sell, and it's cheap. Duh. It's a no-brainer, right? So shop the edges. And don't eat 2 hours before bed. Give your body its fast. Give it its break. Okay, about 2 hours before bed. Don't pig out before bed. You'll sleep better. So you can eat steak and eggs. Bring it on. Give me a bowl of ice cream, whatever I want. Why? Because I don't keep filling my body with bread and pasta and simple fast food. Eat more like a warrior. We're talking meat, lean steaks, chicken, fish, vegetables, fruit. You feel awesome. And whenever you want to have a bowl of ice cream, you can eat it. And you know what? It won't stay on you. The stuff that stays on you is the fried foods, the potato chips, the french fries, the bread, the hamburger buns. Just ask for low carb. Get your bread, get your burger in a little dish with a fork and knife, okay, instead of eating it with the bun. Why? There's a combining rule. You have a starch and a protein, and when you mix them together, they don't combine, they rot. So you eat a protein with a protein. You eat a protein, you eat your burger with the lettuce and the tomato. That'll work. That'll combine. That'll digest. Throw some bread in there, different story. Is that pretty simple for your intake? It's pretty simple, isn't it? I mean, it really is. I'm not saying you should not have any carbs. I'm just saying this is what I do, and it rock and rolls, man. I jump for joy because I used to be real fat and I couldn't figure it out. I'm eating all this bread. I'm eating all this pasta. I'm eating all this cereal and granola, and it all says heart healthy, zero fat. I'm getting fatter and fatter. My friend came along and said, here, I want you to have some eggs. And I said, great, where are the hash browns? And he said, no, just have some eggs. And then he said, okay, for lunch, just have a salad. And I said, great, give me the croutons. And he said, no, just have a salad. And I said, okay, and then for dinner, he said, just have a steak, a little broccoli. And the next morning, he said, just have some mangoes. And all of a sudden, things started to change because I was eating food that I could recognize. In other words, I knew where it came from. It's either from the vine, like an apple, or from the plant, right, like some broccoli, or it's right from the animal. Okay, like as in recently killed and still recognizable, like a steak or a piece of chicken. I can say, I know where that came from. But you look at a pasta, you look at some fast food, you can't even tell where it originated. You look at all the dozens of ingredients on the side of that thing. Hey, when you eat fruit, vegetables, or meat, there's no ingredients needed. You pick that up and you say meat, right? Or you say broccoli, or you say banana. See how simple that is? A no-brainer, isn't it? Okay, that was our natural diet before the industrial age came along and the mechanical, machine-processed foods and preservatives and things were developed. It's pretty simple, isn't it? Pretty darn simple. Then you can have a little fun, eat some ice cream, whatever you want, because you'll be lean and mean all of a sudden. Does that make sense? Okay, let me give you mastery key number 2. The more effectively that you can understand and communicate with something, the better chance you have of influencing it. Okay? And all you're getting, get understanding. And when you're armed with these keys that I'm giving you, you can determine what's worthy of your thoughts and what's not, and your problems will melt away as you're now walking in maximum efficiency. Remember the locus of control? You can control this. You can influence this, and you cannot no influence or control. Okay? Now, you might have an understanding of politics in the Middle East, but I assure you, you have no influence or control. I don't care if you went to college for it and understand everything about it. Unless you're going to work in our government, in the State Department, what business do you have knowing about it? Okay? Focus on your world. Put your energy, your thought life. Remember, thoughts are energy. Thoughts have mental mass. They have power. So focus on things that benefit and grow you.